Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hi everybody, I'm Lysha from Lysha Be Creative, and today is another tutorial, and I'm jumping on another tumbler trend that is super popular right now. So everybody has seen the coffee, beer, glass cans with the bamboo lids. Well, they recently came out with, or at least I've recently seen, the double-walled glass tumblers for like the glass cans, and of course I had to try those out. And so of course I'm going to be showing you how I created these super cute, definitely ready for summer style double walled glass cans. I know you guys have seen me create snow globe tumblers on my channel in the past, so I won't go too in depth in today's tutorial, but I will talk a little bit about how I thought the process was doing a traditional snow globe tumbler versus using these glass cans. So of course everything I use in today's tutorial will be listed and linked down in the description box. Check the description box out for discount codes as well as links to all of my social media so you can follow me on other platforms as well. Before you go, definitely give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And definitely, if you love this video, definitely leave a comment down below if you have an idea for a future tutorial that I should try, or just something that you'd like to add to today's video. Definitely make sure to comment down below. I love reading and responding to those either during a live chat or when I get a moment after the video has gone live. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's tutorial. Alright, so let's get into it. So I purchased these 12-ounce glass cans. They're double-walled from Craft Store by Gabby. I will link her shop down in the description box. I found her on Instagram from another follower that I have and friend, and she was able to share with me that she was selling these double-walled glass cans, and I decided that I needed to jump on these and get these. So I'm just going to go ahead and unbox all 4 of these, and the first thing that I'm going to say when it comes to these glass cans, so I have the 12-ounce version. I know they make a larger, I think 20-ounce version, which is a little bit of a longer, skinnier can, but I have the 12-ounce version, and I will tell you that the holes on the bottom are smaller than what I would personally make if I was making a traditional snow globe tumbler. So I was a little concerned when I first saw these that I was going to have a hard time getting my chunkier glitter in there, but I'm going to show you right now that that is not the case. So I am using quite a few colors here. I did kind of like a neon style bunch here. So I did an orange, a pink, a blue, and then I did a yellow as well. And this took me literally no time to get all of these filled, which was amazing. It probably took me a good 20 minutes to fill all of them. And instead of doing my typical 2 medicine cups worth in a snow globe, I only did about 3/4 of 1 medicine cup for each of the glitters that I chose to put inside of these double-walled glass tumblers. I will, of course, link all of the supplies and all of the glitters that I'm using in the description box. You guys knew that today I wasn't really going to give you sort of the play-by-play on how I do snow globe tumblers, because I do have 2 other videos on my channel, which I will link 1 or 2 of those right here and as well in the description box, so that you can get more of a step-by-step tutorial on how I create these. So now I am filling up the snow globe cans, glass cans, with my mixture of vegetable glycerin and distilled water. I'm filling them up as high as I can, just like I would traditionally for my regular plastic double wall acrylic snow globes, and so I'm filling them up as high as I can, and then I'm going to let these sit overnight so that they can completely let out any of the air and all the air can rise to the top. So here it is the next day, and now I'm just going to finish and top these off. So I'm going to try and get as much solution in there to remove as much air as possible. You're always going to have 1 or 2 bubbles left. That's just kind of the luck of the draw. I mean, if you are someone who can get all the air out, like, teach me your ways, because it's near impossible, I feel like. So there always is a little bit of a bubble, which is fine because that does actually help the flow of your glitter and your solution, kind of flow through the can much better. So I'm just going to top these off as best as I can, making sure to tap out any of the air that may still be trapped inside of the can. So tapping is not as easy on these glass cans as it is on the double-walled acrylic cups that I typically would use. I was just nervous that I was going to break them, knowing that they're double-walled, and that probably would be really hard for me unless I dropped it on the floor. But I was still a little bit nervous for whatever reason I was going to break it with my ring or something. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just going to top these off and just clean off the top of these before I go into kind of sealing them. So just to clean off the top, because I know that some of my solution did end up getting on the bottom portion of the cup while I was trying to fill these, I'm just going to take some 91% alcohol and a coffee filter just to clean them out. And I'm really going around the holes because I want to make sure that there's no kind of slippery vegetable glycerin on that section, so that I can make sure that my UV resin is going to adhere to my glass can. Okay, so we're going to cure these just like I normally would and seal them with UV resin. I will link the UV resin that I'm using for this in the description box. You guys know I did a review for Glitter by Mama Boss. I did her UV resin, which I absolutely love, but you guys know that I was out of that within like a week because I wanted to use that on every single project. So I will link what I am currently using as well as her UV resin, which I love, down in the description box. So I put a little bit of UV resin sort of around the hole of the bottom of the glass can, and because these holes are a little bit narrower than what I typically would drill in if I was using a double walled acrylic, I actually had a much easier time being able to seal up these holes. You guys know that I don't typically use like a stopper or anything on my cups whatsoever. I usually just kind of take my UV resin and kind of make that circle around the hole and then go over the top to create like a slight dome, and that's all I do. I don't kind of use any tape, any stopper, nothing of that sort. So that was just a quick up close of kind of how I did that, so you can see it's just kind of a small like pea-sized amount, if you will, over the top of that hole and obviously around it so that it doesn't fall in. And then I cured each of them for 60 seconds and that was it, and they were all sealed. I didn't have any leaks whatsoever, which is literally a first, because anytime I'm doing like a batch of snow globe tumblers, there's always one that doesn't quite seal completely and I have to spend extra time trying to get it to seal with UV resin. But these literally were sealed in a matter of moments, which was absolutely awesome. They were so quick and easy to put together that these would be fantastic things to add to a craft fair if you're doing any events this summer. They're really quick and easy to make. I mean, all in all, I thought that this was going to take me a bit of time, and I literally got these done within 24 hours, and that was with letting them sit overnight so that I can let any air that may have been trapped in the glitter area towards the bottom rise to the top. So really quick, very easy that you could sort of batch these and have them prepared for your next event. And yeah, I really love them. So now it is time, now that they're sealed, that we are going to put our decals on. So I have a bunch of like clear cast decals that I got from my Aisha Creations. You guys have seen this watermelon palette pattern before. I also have some decals that she has just recently launched within the last couple months of one of those that I'm going to be using, and then a cactus print, and of course some strawberries to go with my bright yellow one as well. So I'm just going to cut out all of the images that I want, and these are printed on a white background, so they're not completely translucent or transparent. They have a white backing, so they're super vibrant when you put them on any colored base, which I absolutely love because I can make sure that it's something that's going to stand out and really be seen and really kind of, you know, be in your face, if you will. So you could also use sublimation on these. I know this is also super popular on these glass cans. I do have a sublimation printer, but I have actually had that printer for probably about a year, I'll be honest, and I still have not used it. One day I will break that bad boy open and like use it because I have all the supplies. I gotta rearrange my space to get it together. So I'm just going to apply all of these decals, which were super easy to apply. It literally took me a matter of moments to get them all on here and get all of them arranged the way that I wanted them to be. And again, I just love that I have that white backing on these decals because it just makes them stand out that much brighter. So I didn't really choose to do any like word decals, if you will, other than the one that says follow your dreams. And then on the watermelon tumbler, which I'm going to be doing next, I ended up running out of the watermelon popsicles. I put them all a little bit too close together, so I had to go back and cut just like a Hello Summer decal that I got off of Creative Fabrica. I'll link that down in the description box as well to kind of cover up the bit of open space that I ended up having because I didn't have enough popsicles to go around, if you will. But again, like this was super easy, super quick. I think these are perfect for summer. I really was super impressed with how like easy everything was to put together. Not that I expected to struggle, but I did maybe expect to come into contact with maybe a couple hiccups or something. But this is literally my first time ever using glass cans for absolutely anything. Never use them whatsoever, and I really love how simple and easy it was to just get everything together. So of course, to jazz these up just a little bit more, because you guys know I'm extra, I'm going to add some cute little lids. So I'm going to do 2 rhinestone lids and 2 ice lid toppers. And so what I'm doing with my lids right now is just giving them a light sand, because I want to make sure that the glue and the resin that I'm going to be using on these are going to stick and adhere nicely without any issues. So on the 2 rhinestone lids, I am going to paint them as a base, or base paint them first. So I will link those down in the description box, the 2 colors I use. One is actually a dispersion color from Counterculture DIY. It's literally the only dispersion color that I have, because I found that I didn't really care for the dispersion colors. To me, it just made more sense to use acrylic paint. And then I will also link the acrylic paint, which is an apple barrel paint that I picked up from Walmart, down in the description box. So I'm just going to take my paintbrush and I am just going to paint the entire top, and I am going to paint around the edges of these tops as well, because these ones will be, the ones that I'm painting are going to be ones that are going to be rhinestoned. So I'm just going to paint these with my paintbrush here, get them all nice and beautifully jazzed up here. I'll let those dry before I move into using the little ice cube things, crushed ice, that I like to use vase filler for the other lids. So the other thing that you can do with these tops is the little pieces that like cover the straw hole and the kind of bottom rim that helps seal them, you can remove them if you wanted to. I have seen people like remove them. I didn't really feel like I needed to. I was pretty careful and patient with painting, which you guys will be very impressed to know, that I took my time and wasn't a super messy crafter in this tutorial to kind of get these painted. But I only did 1 coat of paint on each of them. I didn't really feel like I needed to do any more than that. You definitely could if you wanted to be more vibrant, or if you were just going to do a painted lid just to match your decals or glitter and not go over anything over top. But I'm going over top of these with rhinestones, so I know I'm also going to get kind of that added bling and sparkle that I didn't feel like I needed to add a second coat of paint by any means. So while those are drying, like I said, I'm going to move on to the other 2 lids, which are going to be like ice lid toppers. I know you guys have seen me do this forever ago, I think almost a year now. In one of my first few tutorials, I did like a margarita style cup, and that is what we're going to kind of do with those toppers. Okay, so I have these super cute like crushed like ice vase fillers. They're super popular for making these ice lid toppers. I also have the square cubes, but I didn't want to use those because the ones that I have are rather large and it just would take up so much space on the lid. So I decided to just use like the crushed ice pieces, the vase filler, this way. So I purchased my vase filler from Michael's, but I also have purchased a bunch from Amazon, which I will link in my Amazon storefront. For a good section of these, I'm going to dye them pink. So this is Batty Blood from Jen's Crafted Gems Inks, and I'm just going to put a couple drops in there just to dye my ice the pink color. So this is going to go on the watermelon cup, and I really wanted these to kind of match because I could not get, and I could not find on Amazon, I'll have to go back and look, I'm sure I'll be able to find it now. I couldn't find any like sliced watermelon like resin pieces on Amazon that would get here in enough time, because I thought that would be so cute to add like a little cute little watermelon slice on top of the pink ice cubes for the watermelon cup. But hopefully I'll be able to find something soon and finish off that topper. But for now, we're just going to do a pink ice lid topper. So while I'm waiting for my pink ice to kind of dry, I'm going to get started on the traditional ice and the ice lid with the lemon wedge. So I'm just going to take my UV resin and I'm just going to put a little bit of UV resin there to adhere my lemon wheel first, and then I'm going to start to apply the crushed ice pieces. So you'll see in this lid, with this lid, I ended up doing it like 1 by 1, putting a little bit down and then adhering the little, you know, the little faux ice crushed ice. You can do it the way that I'm doing it and do one by one, or you can do it the other way, which I'll show you next, and that's to put like a layer down and just add as many cubes that will fit and then cure. You also could cure on as you go if you're worried that you're going to put too much UV resin on and that it's going to leak into your whole area. Obviously you want to be very careful with how much UV resin you're putting on there, because you don't want any of that UV resin to leak into the whole area or over the sides, and potentially cause a super sticky situation over the edges, if you will. But I'm just going to continue to place my ice cubes. I was going to go all the way around like the front half of the straw area as well, and then I kind of decided against it because I wanted to make sure that there was an area for someone to drink out of. I'm always worried that when I do these toppers, because they're permanently fixed to the top, that if I don't leave room, that somebody who is trying to drink out of it is going to have a hard time if they don't have a long enough straw, because like they keep bumping into the ice. So I left that front section open so that the straw could kind of be tilted in that direction, if that makes sense, to make it easier for drinking out of a straw out of these cups, because the straws that come with these cups are shorter. Obviously it's only a 12-ounce can, so it's not a super long straw. So I'm going to finish this topper up, and then we'll move on to creating the pink ice lid topper to go on top of my watermelon cup. So for this one, I decided that I was just going to put like a layer of UV resin on top of the entire lid and then add my ice cubes on top, if that makes sense. So before, you saw me kind of put a little bit of resin down and then add ice cube at a time. This I decided to just put a whole layer because I didn't have to like fix any like resin piece like a lemon wedge or anything like that. So really it was just these little ice cubes. So it just made sense to put it in a nice layer, get kind of the base done, and then use the few pieces that I had left to build on top of that. So adding more UV resin on top of the already permanently affixed ice on top of there, and then just adding the few pieces that I had left in my little coffee filter there to give it more height, if you will. So these were literally done within a few minutes. I mean, like I said, guys, this project took me less than 24 hours. I was so shocked to be done with my YouTube tutorial like early for once, which doesn't happen very often. I'm usually like right down to the wire, but these were literally the quickest thing I've ever put together. So the last thing I'm going to do is obviously finish up my rhinestone lids. So obviously I'm not going to make you sit through this too much, but I am using a bright neon green for my orange lid. And then I'm using like these super cute blue, light blue ones that I got in this pack of jelly rhinestones from Amazon. So I decided to go with the green because I didn't have a bright orange like I thought in my brain that I had to go with that topper, but I think it really does complement the orange and green on the can itself. I actually really like how it came out together. I think it really gives like a cactus vibe, if you will. So this is the final result after I finished all of the lids. They came out so cute, and again, guys, these would be perfect for last minute gifts, putting together last minute crafts and things that you need to sell at events. I just love how quick, easy, and versatile these were, and I hope that you love them too. Of course, if you loved my tutorial today, definitely make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up, and if you aren't already, definitely make sure to subscribe to my channel. I do live video premieres for every video on Tuesdays and Saturdays at noontime Eastern Standard Time, so I definitely encourage you to come hang out with us in the live chat. But you guys know that I'll see you in a tutorial coming up soon. Bye!